Okay, I'm here today at Bluemont Disc Golf Course, and here is the Viking. I have two of them, my trusty 171 gram Viking and this one here, which is 154 grams. It's much lighter, and they certainly have different characteristics. I'll talk more about that as we play, but the Viking, it's a 9, 4, -1, and 2 disc. What does that mean? Well, the 9 is the speed. That means that this one is pretty controllable as a fairway driver. You should be able to throw it straight as long as you have probably a little bit of experience. If you're a total beginner, maybe not. You maybe want to start with a disc that's a lower number, 7, 6. The lower the number, the easier it is to control. But a 9 is still a very easy disc. There's disc speeds up to like 14, 15. So these are definitely in the middle of the spectrum, the Viking, and easy to control. You can get it to do what you want it to do. And today I'm going to definitely talk about that and give you some tips as I throw these two Vikings around the course here. But the second one, the 4, is the glide, and that's basically how much it glides in the air. The higher the number, the more the glide. That means more possible distance, especially if the wind's carrying it. And -1, that's the basically turn. That means it's going to turn maybe the opposite way, give you a little S, and then the fade off at the end, a 2. And that's at the end of the flight, how it fades off. So that's pretty much standard to have a 2 or a 3 for that number. So this is a pretty controllable and very normal disc that should do as you'd expect it to do. Okay, let's get started. Okay, number 3 here at Bluemont. Definitely a challenge when you play it blue to blue. 274 feet. So you start up here at the blue tee pad, come on down here past the red tee pad, and it's a dog leg left after you pass this mando tree here, up to what's called the mound right there, basket on top of the hill. It's tough, but let's see if we can make it happen. Okay, pretty good result here with the Viking, just shy of the mound and an easy putt in. Okay, this one can be very tough, but the Viking did a good job. Turned left for me, came up just shy of the basket, and I threw it with some Anheuser to make it turn left and some follow through that way, and then putted it in with the Vibram Summit. Excellent putt approach. So number 6 here at Bluemont, and from the blue tees to the silver basket, which is in the B position, it's 260 feet, but it's a super extreme dogleg right, and there's a mando, big tree down there that says 6 in Roman numerals this way, and you have to go around that. That means mando means mandatory. That means you have to go whichever way it's telling you around that tree. So it's a super dogleg right, and you need to throw with a lot of hyzer if you're forehand flicking, Anheuser if you're throwing the backhand, and hyzer if you're throwing the forehand. Basically, if you see me throw like this for the forehand, then keep the disc the same way, and you want to throw it like that for the backhand. The angle doesn't change, but it's opposite, hyzer versus Anheuser. So it's tough to get it to make that dog leg and get the distance, but let's see what we can do. Many times height is not your friend. When you throw high, you tend to lose control, and the disc can definitely float off the wrong way. But on this one, number 6, height can help you. Just throw with a lot of hyzer to get it to turn right, and really let gravity and the air do the rest. The higher the better, because you want that distance on this one. You want it to go as far as possible and also make that turn. Okay, not a bad drive with the Viking here. It's probably about 35, maybe 40 feet, so that means it's outside of the circle, which means I can jump putt, but that's not my style. Let's see if I can get a birdie here. Okay, so number 6 here, threw the Viking with a lot of hyzer to get it to turn right, this dogleg right, and then the putt with this lighter 154 gram Viking. So there you go, the drive and the putt with the Viking. Great all-around disc. Okay, number 7 at Bluemont, throwing from the blue Pro Tee to the A position of the silver basket, and it's 301 feet. A challenge because you got to get it between those two trees or get lucky on either side. Well, I would have liked a bit more distance out of this Viking, but it hit a tree and stopped, so I've got a good ways to go here, probably about 80 feet. And that's definitely outside the circle, which is 33 feet, 10 meters. That means you can jump putt, but not an easy challenge from here. Let's see what I can do. Okay, so wrapping up number 7 here, the drive with my Viking here, 171 grams. Got held up by a tree, but it went very straight. But still, sometimes you're going to hit a tree. And I was able to flick putt it in with another Viking. This one is light. It's 154 grams. And, you know, weight is something that's a personal preference. A light disc is not going to do very well in the wind. But in this instance, I was able to kind of get a little mini S-curve out of it and do a pretty straight putt to make that birdie. So this one's heavier. I prefer to drive with it, and actually this is a friend of mine's that I borrowed to make this video. But you saw it was a very great flick putter. So don't listen to other players when they say, use this or don't use that. Now, I tend to flick a lot of my shots, but I don't really usually flick when I'm putting unless I'm really far away like that one. That's somewhere 80-90 feet probably. So definitely you want to use the shots that work for you. Don't listen to anybody else. Use your own style and just play the way you play. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't look at other people's styles and ways of putting and driving, because you might very well learn something that you can incorporate into your own game. But think for yourself. The Viking, great disc in putter form and also as I use it in driver form. Okay, so there you go, the Viking Speed 9 disc. Basically anybody from advanced beginner on up should be able to throw this Viking with ease. Remember, weight is important, and also remember to just play your game. Don't listen to anybody else because they might throw a different way than you. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and also Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Check out all my other disc golf videos here, best disc for the flicks, and other great discs that you should have in your bag. And if you like cars, check out my Drivin Ivan car reviews as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Ivan Katz.